Desde el hondo cruzo de la patria se levanta el clamor popular, ya se anuncia la nueva alborada, todo Chile comienza a cantar, recordando el soldado valiente, cuyo ejemplo se hiciera inmortal. Enfrentemos primero la muerte, traicionar a la patria más. Venceremos, venceremos, mil cadenas habrá que romper. Venceremos, venceremos, al fascismo sabremos vencer. Venceremos, venceremos, mil cadenas habrá que romper. Venceremos, venceremos, al fascismo sabremos vencer. Campesinos, soldados y obreros, la mujer de la patria también, estudiantes, empleados, mineros, cumpliremos con nuestro deber, sembraremos la tierra de gloria, socialista será el porvenir, todos juntos haremos la historia, a cumplir, a cumplir, a cumplir. Venceremos, venceremos, mil cadenas habrá que romper. Venceremos, venceremos, al fascismo sabremos vencer. Venceremos, venceremos, mil cadenas habrá que romper. Venceremos, venceremos, al fascismo sabremos vencer.
So we are pretty much in the last. Is my voice coming out? Okay, good. Apologies to those people who may be tuning in, because this is going to be every bit as boring and dull as every development stream for Peace Island I have done to date. So on one hand, you're going to be disappointed, but on the other hand, you're not going to be disappointed because really you're just going to see what everybody else has seen. Please talk to me in the chat if you are tuning in. Trust me, I've gone through these like parts of the game so many dang times. This intro to the game, Laura and I have played the intro mission to this game so many times. I think it has appeared at least. I know it's appeared in my dreams. I have not asked Laura, but I have a feeling it has. So, but we have confirmed that is compatible with the new controller. And I went through and took care of a few like really bad issues that were still extant. Now, understand what we're releasing on on Steam tomorrow is not the full game, and in fact, that's where we're going to start. Hey, I'm going to put on some music in the background and little. Here's the. I don't think anybody's actually going to watch this. Prove me wrong by joining us in the chat here. There we go, live chat. Yeah, if anybody, please, you determine the direction of conversation here. And let me see here. I gotta find this for music. Now, because I'm on YouTube, I know I could play music without Jeff Bezos, muting my thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go. I don't listen to Chilean socialist songs. That's just a way for me to. By the way, I always open that. If you don't live in the USA, it may seem. Well, I think if you don't watch the news, it may seem just odd that I always open a fascist song. But well, if there's a time to identify yourself as an anti-fascist in the United States of America, now's the time to do it. Just saying. And what really gets me, can I just? I'm going to go to my mixes. Hold on. No, actually, no. What to do? there's a great channel. I really like this label. By the way, if you want to know what I usually listen to while I'm writing, I go to cryochamber dot these guys. They have a fantastic roster of just very good dark ambient stuff. But I think in the interim, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to my. I buy my music. Please, if anybody, if the one or two people that are going to watch this in the future, if I can entreat, if you're a member of Spotify, or if you give them your money, quit. Just quit. Just stop. I have not used Spotify now in over a decade. Probably over a decade. I think it is. I don't know how long Spotify's been around because, quite frankly, I never use it. I now buy all of my music on Spotify. On Spotify, no, on Bandcamp. Pardon me. It's been a long day. I buy all my music on Bandcamp, and because if you're not aware, basically an artist gets a tiny fraction of 1 cent from a play on Spotify, whereas if you purchase their music here on Bandcamp, you are going to get their album, and they get a significantly larger cut. So what I'm going to do is let's see everything in V Nation to dark ambient stuff here. Actually, what I want to do. Is that it? There we go. Because I have. What we're for is this one. Yeah, Awakening. This one new band discover. It's. I mean, really. I kind of like stuff that sounds halfway between music and halfway between like walking through an abandoned Serbian, steel plant. Oh, hello. Oh, Chobits Kitty? Is there somebody here? Are you still there? Hopefully you weren't horrified by my visage. But yeah, I wanna let me see. Yeah. I haven't even gotten to work yet. But all right, I'm gonna start it, and I'm gonna keep an eye on. I don't want to overpower the magnetic, just allure of my voice. You should. Oh, Choby, Choby. Where are you coming from? Can I ask you where are you tuning in from? And if you could tell me if like stuff in the background isn't too noisy or overpowering my voice, because really, I stream so irregularly. I know nothing about proper audio levels. That seems a little bit high. The peaks there. And where are you chatting from, by the way? I don't know. So yes, we're going to start with our code that has the quotes that come up as you're waiting for the game to load. I've let's see. There's no rush. Gotta edit that. There are now 4 cats. Get 3 cats or more in a clouder to drive a golf cart. Use the evidence map to listen, connect clues you discover. New deer coming soon. Yeah. No, yeah, we need to revamp the dialogue UI. I really like Disco Elysium, their approach to UI dialogue. But for the time being, we're at the point now where it's like if it works, it works. I don't. You're not telling me. Well, here's the thing. You don't need to tell me where you are from. Just hey, say something interesting in the chat, or say something boring. Exactly. I want you to say something incredibly dull in the chat.
info piece out. Okay.
Thing is I'm coming to the realization. We are coming to the realization that even though we have written literally several books for the beta, not everybody's going to be into reading. I just hope they take a moment to flip through a couple of things and notice stuff like logos of companies and such, because everything that we put into this nothing is put in there by accident. Everything in there is significant to the plot, the time, the characters, everything. And that's if that's one thing that we could say, is that we have, again, more story and more, and this is our demo than most games have their entirety. Most indie games have their entirety. Thing is, I was never really good, and I have to, I did a YouTube video the other day about David Szymanski, and like I said, I cannot criticize the guy because he's, Squirrel Stapler. Oh my goodness, it's such simple ideas, and he's able to add so much weight and so much memorable stuff to that simple idea. I mean, literally, Iron Lung is a game you could play in about 30 minutes if you really rush it. Let me see. I think I'll out of here. Let me if anybody would tell me in the chat, but I know nobody chat. Nobody loves us, and that's fine. As the Westboro Baptist Church said, nothing is better than no more perfect than a zero. I wish, by the way, if anybody out there could get in touch with Mike Shuranovsky, or Amy Elizabeth Shuranovsky, or Mike Mike Bonafide, or the other scammers, and just, hey, we're still here. You didn't destroy us. We're still here. Yeah, you did everything you could to cripple us. You took away our ability to advertise on Facebook. You trashed us. You did. I mean, honest goodness, you did everything you could to set us back during the 18 months we had you with the project. But you know what? Trust me, there were times. I'm just talking to those. I'm talking to the haters. Let me talk to the haters. Since nobody's chatting with me, let me talk to the haters. Haters that did everything they could to set us back. Let me tell you, guys, gals, and those in between. And there is one in between that will literally just. Well, no. Here's a. Kara, if you ever see this video, just ignore whatever happened during that second time you joined the project. That was, again, the time that Amy Elizabeth Shuranovsky was trying to destroy the project, finally, because basically I had handed the entire project over to them at that point, and they had called you to close in for the kill. Honest to goodness, you coming along, I mean, in the end, you turned out to be right, Kara, about the person. Yes, Brett Dunham was definitely deliberately ripping us off. And, yeah. And yeah, I really didn't understand what you were talking about, Kara. I mean, I didn't know the game industry was as cutthroat, as, as horrible as it is. So, in the end, Kara, out of that whole scammy bunch, I will say you did us a service because you scared off Brett Dunham. Brett Dunham was just, if I can use adult language, a waste of sperm. He was just an absolute piece of garbage. From the photographs that he used from 15 years ago to advertise, to look thin and young when really age was catching up with him hard, all the way to his business. I mean, at one point, I think he had a money laundering thing going on, because Brett Dunham, this guy who initially ripped us off for about 6 months, when I looked into his employment history, and yeah, if you're not aware, you can get the Intellius and such. I looked into Brett Dunham's background. At one point, he was claiming employment at this company that only had a website, no locus and the website, every page was like coming soon, coming soon. So these were just, again, scammers, criminals. And again, and you know, I think I keep on mentioning it. And Kara came back. She was the last scammer that came onto one of these, casts and announced themselves. And they said, get over it. And Kara, again, if you're watching, thanks again for getting rid of Brett Dunham. And two, trust me, I've gotten over it. But I'm never going to forgive these people for wasting time. They were really shitty thieves. But I can't forgive them for stealing time from us, which lost us precious prestige. We could have come out with this beta before Stray came out. If I had not done that. But again, and Amy Elizabeth Cherinovsky, I will say, again, with absolutely no irony, I hope your transition is going well and you are feeling, again, more comfortable in your own skin as an individual. But here's the one thing your transition won't fix. You're still going to be a shitty game developer. It's not going to give you any new ideas. It's not going to, really turn you into anything other than hopefully the person you feel most comfortable being, is all I'm going to say. But it's not going to make you a better game developer. Ever, ever, ever. So, see flower spawner. Make sure that these, 62. These heights are set correct. 64, 64, 364. I want to put especially high at 65. You see, this is the drama of game development, going through endless tables and making sure a number or a checkbox is set the proper way. That's game development, baby. It beats heavy lifting. Excellent, excellent. Things are looking good. Atomic batteries to power, but I just want to go through because I think there's still going to be some stuff. It's crap. I mean, what's this here? What's that? We have 2 cone halves down here, and they're not set to static. We don't even need them, so they're like artifacts. And every frame of the game is going to have to do 2 calls down to that. God dang it. Sorry, my nose itches. You'll have to pardon me while I just step off camera. Oh, that feels so... Oh, God. Whew. Whew, boy. Okay, so let's just go through... the trash manager. That should be in global objects, really. Snails, F1 debug. Do we need an F... we don't need that. And actually, it looks like the script is missing, so we don't need that option. What is this? Cube 46. It looks too important to remove. I'm just saying at this point. There are going to be things missing. Main core, what the hell is this? Main core. Some of this stuff is very, very old. We're going to check the camera settings one more time. We need NGSS. Oh, no, NGSS is on the light. On directional light. NGSS, great. Set to directional. Oh man, my headphones are telling me that I'm low on power. Oh, hello. We beat us. You changed your thing. Hello. Low again. Anything to say? My headphones just warned me that I'm coming out of power, but that's fine. Let's just see here. Again, make sure that our virus system is set. 38 minutes a day. And by the way, why do we choose 38 minutes a day? Because that's how long they were in Skyrim. Hey, if you're going to copy for somebody, copy, from a good, well, I can't call Bethesda the best. By the way, I'm going to get in about like 3 more warnings on my. Anyway, we do not use. I'm going to go again. Save all modules. Make sure. Oh yeah, we need routes. Make sure. Still activate. Well, there are about a dozen things that I could obsess about at this moment and go, no, we can't. But here's the thing: we're 3 weeks late. And there's, like I said, I've worked in politics, and there's an old phrase in politics: you cannot let the perfect get in the way of the acceptable. We're releasing what we have, and systems on engine. The visual engine is set up. It's camera. And player, of course, it's the camera. I'm sort of spooked. Just too important. Oh, these are actually artifacts. They can go. Yeah. I don't even know what that. We're going to keep that there. I want to run it one last time, test mode, to make sure sound and everything is working. And I'm going to do that right after Grandpa Eric returns. Wish people were more chatty over here. Come on, Skeety, come on, say something fun or say something boring. Well, you did. You said hello, and that's. I'll see you back in a bit. I'm going to play something more entertaining in the background. I think this is one of the first songs I played during a restroom break. When I first started, streaming these back like literally 7 years ago or 7 years ago. We want uncorrected personality traits. Only problem is it's probably going to go, hey, got yourself. Oh my god, they run towards danger. Yeah, they're going to hit me with ads. What the hell? I'm just going to go back to my right. Oh, I am out of the room. All right. Yeah, I'll be right back. Right after Robin Hitchcock explains. You're back.
Uncorrected personality traits that seem whimsical in a child may prove to be ugly in a fully grown adult. Lack of involvement with the father or over-involvement with the mother can result in lack of ability to relate to sexual peers. And in homosexual leanings, narcissism, transsexuality, girls from the waist up, men from the waist down, attempts to be your own love object. Reconcile your parents to you by becoming both at once. Even Marilyn Monroe was a man, but this tends to get overlooked by our mother-fixated, overweight, sexist media. So, uncorrected personality traits that seem whimsical in a child may prove to be ugly in a fully grown adult. If you give in to them every time they cry, they will become little tyrants, but they won't remember why. Then when they are thwarted by people in later life, they will become psychotic and they won't make an ideal husband or wife. The spoiled baby grows into the escapist teenager who's the adult alcoholic who's the middle-aged suicide boy. So uncorrected personality traits that seem whimsical in a child may prove to be ugly in a fully grown adult.
All right, we're back. I can see that the chat is just burning up over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just set our game manager version number. And after this, basically tomorrow is going to be all uploading. But you know, geez, how do I feel that now we're at the point where I'm like, well, you know, we're releasing what we have. How do I feel? Again, I wish I had made better hiring choices back in 2019, late 2019, early 2020. Other than that, no. That's the only thing that really comes to my mind. That a little bit of relief. Trust me, if you're wondering, yeah, I'm overwhelmed with imposter syndrome. Um, insecurity, everything that you would expect at this moment, fear, trepidation, panic. But, it's sort of overpowered in my mind with the need to just, I mean, come on, let the axe fall. If you get the old axiom there. This. Sure, our game manager is again not set to test mode. Wait for it to compile the scripts. I mean, to think tomorrow, I mean, literally around noon tomorrow, I'm going to just pull a trigger and it's going to go what we have. And here's one thing that I mean, if one thing you need to understand, we never expected to make money off of this. We just wanted an opportunity to create something. Quite frankly, if we sell, I mean, they say some games like the Neverhood. I think initially they only sold 7,000 copies. If we sell 7,000 copies, oh my goodness, that would be enough to keep us going for. Oh, my headphones just worn. That would allow us to finish the entire game with spades. And goodness gracious, maybe pay off my credit card debt as well. You know what I'm saying? But really, we are not concerned about making money. We just wanted to be able to make something. Um, it may not be to everybody's liking. Some may consider it boring. Some may hate it. But hey, you can't please everybody. Quite frankly, I can't imagine playing, Madden Sports. I couldn't imagine playing. That would be the most boring game. But it's sold millions of copies. But we're not going to pretend we're Madden Sports or a big franchise like that. Just not. We're two people in Maine who really love the islands of Maine, an experience about it. You want to get more of the sound effects in, give you more of a sense of place. But again, it's just two of us. Right? For basically since 2022, since we got rid of those people, it's just been on me and Laura and Lance, our coder. Done everything from writing, texture design. Sorry, the little Discord boop boops. Just waiting for this to go. Oh, I'm just gonna open this up and go. Hey, what you saying here, guys? Oh, I'm trying to chat, but no messages are coming through. Somebody's saying, okay, hold on for a moment. Actually, no, hold on for over there. That is absolutely weird. Here's the thing. Yeah, that's weird. I see in your window, but I don't see them here. Let me just see here. Live chat, top chat. Yeah, I just see, hold on, top fans, participants. I just see myself. See? That sucks. This is sort of why I don't like YouTube chat. Hey, here's the thing. I could chat with you on Discord in that window. What did you want to say? I'll see here. Oh yeah, there are no cats. Oh yeah. Oh hush. Yeah. I don't know, man. Man, dude, gal, who, or whatever. I don't know. Dude, I think dude is gender neutral. It has been since the 90s. Trust me, I was there. Um, okay, so let me see here. What is this? Oh yeah. If you get close to the north, very close to the fence marking Greenwood Gardens up here, you'll hear a dog barking in the distance. Forgot about that totally. That again should be. Yeah, it's not. Oh yeah, it is. I'm just afraid. I'm just like, is there something I did not check? Is there something I didn't do? Oh, Bandcamp, good, good. You use Bandcamp. I do too. I that's where I buy all my VNV Nation albums. I mean, the thing that sealed Bandcamp for me. And I'm chatting with somebody. Everybody joining us on our Discord. That's apparently where the chat is happening. Um, is I bought when VNV Nation came out with their classical album Resonance. I paid. This was before I started Peace Island, so it didn't come out of you guys' money. I paid $35 for the CD with its little booklet. And then, after paying all of that, I discovered that people who bought the digital album only paid half as much, and they got a bonus track. And here's the thing: Ronan Harris of VNV Nation is very I mean, he's a good guy. He knows about the environment. He's conscious about the environment, and he wanted to reward people for Yeah, he was sort of like rewarding people for buying the digital album, and ever since then, I'm like, yep. I mean, most people, but mostly, I mean, vinyl's getting a comeback right now, but man, back in the day, before the advent of CDs, you bought a record album. Sometimes you'd open up, there'd be a book inside, there'd be a poster, there'd be some sort of fun stuff inside of there. I love those things. I mean, that's sort of lost with the digital, purchases. And yeah, they created a very beautiful little book. I don't know where it is, somewhere around here, that came with it. It had like this handwritten thing in there about how powerful and how weak he feels before he goes on. Before anyway, yes, but I wanted that extra track. God damn it! I mean, I didn't buy your album for a beautiful elegiac note. I bought it for that album. I bought it for the music. But hey, it is what it is. And but anyway, that's what got me over to buying digitally over on Bandcamp. Yeah. Also, Bandcamp has banned all AI bullshit on their platform. I mean, even if you're just selling like tracks, commercial tracks or anything, you cannot sell AI crap on Bandcamp. I think I've heard that Spotify is literally leaning into it and creating their own, AI generated Spotify channels based on, all the music they have licenses to, which to me makes my stomach turn. Um, and I'll tell you why. What? And I'll tell you why. Uh, I eh, 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 I was guilty of falling for AI slop at one point. I'm very sorry. I don't use it anymore. But if you were around for the first generation of Udio, that thing could create. Yes, it's AI slop, but here's the thing: it's because art. Visual art is based on so many different rules. If you've ever taken a musicology course, if you are a musician, you know that music is a far, narrower defined form of criteria. And at the very beginning, Udio was creating some pretty good music, some pretty good slop, I'll have to say. Of course, we don't use it in the game, as far as I know, because it's at one point we got a piece of music from somebody off of Fiverr that we hired prior, that had provided. I mean, prior to the advent of AI, and after we got the music from them again, we posted on YouTube, and it was probably just a troll, but they were going, lol, AI music. Understand there are some people out there that will just point at anything, claim that it's AI, because they feel like they're white knighting for just crying wolf wherever they go. I'm hoping it wasn't an AI. I did check it via an AI thing, and I fed the wave in. No, I fed the MP3 in, and it said 49% human made possibility, 48% AI. And then I fed the wave in, and it said 52% human made, 48. I don't know how AI music detection works, so I don't know. And if you were here a couple of months ago, no, I don't want to get off of this what I was talking about. Grandpa Eric tends to like ramp. But anyway, here we are. We're at Windows. We're using LZ4HC. Okay, I'm pulling the trigger here, guys, gals, and those in between. My goodness, what I am building now. Well, if you're into walking simulators with lots of stuff to read and just like exploring and stuff, I think this is worth, an initial investment of $19.95 or 19.99, because again, the demo will have more content. Honestly, a half hour of video, about an hour of audio. I think it's over 900 pages of books, magazines, everything. And everything in there has stuff contact. I'm sorry, I'm going to remove these. All of this content is not just thrown in. every detail has to do with the overall story of what is going on in Peace Island in the world of the game. It's, I mean, I know that there is at the very beginning, you might think it's filler, but no, it's absolutely every picture, every date, one of my favorite film directors, and unfortunately he's gone before he was able to create his masterpiece, was Shane Carruth. And man, he just he covers all dots every I and crosses every T, just sort of like Vince Gilligan, the guy who did Breaking Bad and also Pluribus. And if you've not watched Pluribus, thumbs up. I'm really liking it. The only thing I'm not liking about it is that it became so popular that and I should type here. I'm gonna type in our Discord. I am carrying on our WeT chat here because the WeT chat window isn't showing me. I just hit me. Maybe it's because I'm using the let me go into YouTube Studio. The thing is, I'm running the chat through OBS Studio, and that might be the reason. But I'm kind of liking this because anyway, let me just see, making sure that the chunks. Okay, yeah. Again, I'm doing everything I can because I'm pushing it. Here on somebody on Discord. Tell me, do it. Come on, but push the button. I'm not going to do it until somebody in Discord or the chat tells me to do it, because then it won't be on me. No, man. I'm going to do it. Geez, this is, the first, another major step on, what I did, what I set out to do back in, late November of 2017 now. God. Okay, so build. Go to our C drive. PCPI. And yeah, let's let it go. Now, here's the thing. I like Chrome, but I discovered last week that if you have Chrome running, it takes Unity 4.5 hours to build the Linux version of Peace Island. If you close Chrome, it takes 90 minutes. There is something. Chrome is just. I'm wondering how come after all these years they have not fixed their memory leak issue. You know what I'm saying? But this is a PC one, so yeah. Yeah, sorry, but hey. Yeah, actually, do they have that? I'm just gonna see if they have that. There's a site that had this. What we need. Yeah. See if that. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. I'm just going to check the audio because I don't want anybody's ears to be blasted out. But it has an ad. Hey, whatever. But this is. Oh no, it doesn't work. What the hell? The bois button no longer works. Okay, apparently it doesn't. What the hell? I was going to use the Inception bois there, but hey, bois. Let's see, select folder. There may be about half dozen people in the actual YouTube chat I'm not even seeing. Can you? Post a picture in the Discord. Tell me what's going on over there. There's probably just you and me, straight up. Because seriously, I have no illusions. Who watches these? Yeah, I'm gonna watch Eric again. Is he gonna forget his like train of thought 15 times? Go to the bathroom 6? And just, I don't know, ramble on and on about something that has a movie he's never seen? Absolutely, that's what I'm going to do. Oh, yep, save it. Oh my goodness, there are people here. Guys, I'm going to try to go to YouTube. Hold on for a moment. I'm going to try to get over there. because it looks like there are actually people there, and I feel it would be a disservice for me to just leave and not say howdy properly. So give me a moment here. I'm going over to you. Everything is slower here. Everything is slower with with Google Chrome. Let's see here. I'm going to go to my. Oh, actually, no. Do I have that window open? Too slow. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I actually have a channel content. I'm just gonna go see here. Can I go to live control room? Here we go. Okay. I see. Let me just see. Top chat, live chat. I see tech play outer while. Tikinu. Tikinu. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Come on. Play Outer Wilds and Chobe. But I see a heck of a lot more in there than I do. See participants. And again, and even in my live control room, I only see one person, myself. I don't know. Apparently something is screwy here, guys. Um, Jeez, I don't know what to do. I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to respond to the chats I see in my Discord. Also, great shirt. You dream, yeah, that's yeah. Well, I'm glad you like it. And I mean, at the very beginning, the books that were in there were just like about 4 or 5 pages of just an idea. But and here is the biggest irony of all this, and I've said it so many times, is that um, people have always said, Eric, you're a very good writer. You're a very good writer. And every time I sat down to try to write narrative fiction, I failed. Because here's the thing: is I was very good at writing opinion, and here's the thing: is when you're writing opinion, your heart and soul is in what you're writing. But here's the thing: when you're writing fiction, yeah, you put your heart and soul in it, but you have to be tempered by the fact that writing fiction is a craft. It is not an art. And all the times I tried writing narrative fiction before this, I was always stuck with I have to sorry. I thought I have to write, and from the very start, I have to write the first sentence properly and everything from there on properly. And no, that's absolutely incorrect. Because in the course of this game, I had to write how many books? I think 9 narrative fiction books. They're not the best in the world, but in the course of that, I learned, like I said, if you don't know, and this is better than watching this. I used to be an illustrator, and I mean, it's just like I said, it's a craft. It's like building a house. You build the frame, and then you build. You make sure that that's steady, and then you build it and build the details. And at any time you can go in and do renovations. It means fixing things all around, but it's still good. Let me just see. I'm going to go. Let's see, sketchbook. So my old crap is. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, I used to draw stuff back in the day. Let's see, um, yeah, just mostly. Yeah, I don't know whether I was furry adjacent. I will say. But I mean, I never could say. I mean, considering what the modern concept of a furry is, I can't say that I was ever a furry. I drew a lot of animals, but I was. I mean, I was more about. I mean, I never drew anything. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I was more about just sketching and stuff like that, and. I really just found at a certain point a style that really matched me. But it was just sort of like what I do was I would scribble. I would get the pencil sketch halfway done, and then I'd go in with a with a pen, and I would try, basically, create just really enjoy the play of like black and white by taking the pencils as they were and moving from there. And one of the things, I mean, back at the very end, let me see if that is on. I was really into cross hatching. And there's this one picture that literally took me months to finish. I'm just trying to find it. And I talked it to a comic book convention. It sold for $25 because everybody was there looking for just fapping crap is what I'm talking. It's sad. Oh yeah, and let's not even look at that. I regret that. Here's the thing: it's kind of hard to believe in 2025, but there was a time in the United States when, yeah, I grew up with Mel Brooks impersonating Hitler, and for funny and laughs, and I mean. And that's why I drew this picture right here. I'll just fess up, yeah. All you right wing trolls, you can go, oh, Eric is a Nazi because he drew a picture like this. Literally, I think 35 years ago. I mean, literally before most of the people that are watching this were born. So, I mean, back then, it was just, I mean, who takes this freaking fascist stuff seriously? Who does? Only idiots. And so it's like okay to make fun of, and that is, I think, again, one of the many horrible things that Trump has done. I mean, he's made comedy illegal. Damn it. Anyway, he's ruined my kind of comedy. A Jewish comedian coming out and full, and impersonating Hitler, and I don't know, making poop jokes. That's prime comedy to me here. But anyway, let's see here. The Redwall books by Brian Jacques. Everybody's. Yeah, animal illustrators, art furry artists. Yeah, well, thank you. The thing is, I was never. What happened is I started collecting comics when I was 14, and I saw comic books, and I was like, I'd like to learn how to draw stuff like this. This is a picture of. By the way, I used to have a roommate that had ferrets. And this was just an action portrait of how his ferrets always acted. Because, ferrets, they don't have a vision scope of about 2 or 3 feet, and they just immediately react. They stink like hell, can I just say? But, and, if I'm just going to say, if you want to learn how to draw, and, I'm going to keep this going because really I'm just waiting for this to be done. It seems there are people that are paying attention to what I'm doing here. Look for a guy named Bernie Hogarth. Because drawing. His books, I was always afraid to draw hands because at a certain point, but when you look at, he just had a really great way of breaking everything down almost in a fractal way of what a body's constituent parts are. And I mean, this is just a great example here. Of just when you look at it, oh yeah, it's just right. It's a bunch of cubes in 3D space, and when you think of it, is that oh yeah, that's how fingers are. That's how you draw hands, and the entire human body is like that. Again, Bernie Hogarth, this guy. I can't recommend him enough for any aspiring artists out there that are having a hard time, understanding how anatomy works in the 3D space. I learned probably more from him than any other person. And yeah, you can still buy his books today, and buy his books. Don't look it online. Buy his books so you can have your sketchbook in your pocket. And by the way, drop your freaking draw pads. Okay, draw pads suck. No, if I know have a real paper sketchbook. It's old Grandpa Eric in rant mode right here. And have Bernie Hogarth's book right there at your side. You can flip it and find what you need. And it isn't you copying. It's understand there's a great quote that I saw in a book about Beatrix Potter. who's another fantastic artist. Yeah, Benjamin Bunny and all of that. But look at her watercolor. Just look at what she used to do. But there's a fantastic. I think it's at the very beginning of this. But it's um, a bad artist looks like they are copying a lot. A good artist really does copy a lot. Um, again, Beatrix Potter, Bernie Hogarth. I mean, when I look at how he draws heads, I still draw. I mean, I still sketch from time to time. This is how I still draw heads to this day. I don't know whether you can see my ugly face is covered. Oh yeah, mostly it's covered up. He's yeah. Um, because I mean, a heck of a lot of people have problems with like how do I construct bodies and such, but because that's how they don't understand. It was sort of like me trying to write a novel by getting the first sentence right and everything thereafter. And no, what you do is you think of the body as a bunch of like balloons and just sketch out the circles where the balloons are, connect them, and then you got the body. And once you understand, if you don't know, elbows come down to hips, and wrists come down to the hips. Yeah, waist, hips, and that's basically your proportion, your basic proportions. And again, Bernie Hogarth, you got it. Arthur Rockham. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Arthur Rockham. Let's see. Rock. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. What style is that? I mean, it's almost like I look at this at like 18. I'm just gonna. Sorry. Yeah, I really like this. Oh, that's it's still too low. Tools, size, large. There we go. Yeah, I mean, this kind of stuff, when I look at it, it reminds me what I have to say of stuff that was done like about anytime between maybe 1890 and the 20s. Before it's sort of like this Art Nouveau, this sort of style. Um, my goodness, they're all so low. This is 1,100, and this is the highest. Oh, I see. It's on Instagram. That's why you can't see anything. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's Edwardian. I'm trying because I grew up in it's just with antebellum like fashion parents. I still use the we mark time by the king who was king of England at that time or king or queen, Victorian, Edwardian, etc. I it's really hard to, but I really have that. There's this when I was in the Netherlands. What are you doing? I visited the Netherlands back in 2001 in the summer, and this it's called Corrigan's. I've actually never read. I don't know what it's about, but it's got sort of like a style that's very close to that, but much more painterly. It's like they took that style. You can't really see it via the tiny window, but they sort of took that style and brought it into sort of the 2000 AD era of execution. Um, I I really love, by the way, how Europeans do comics as opposed to Americans. I have so many. I've been meaning to get the Judge Dredd files, the crime files or whatever, because I grew up with Judge Dredd. I mean, I could say I never really loved superheroes. I never Judge Dredd is a superhero. He just is. He's a fascist superhero, yes, of course, but he is a superhero. There are so many times along the course of his story when I first read them when I was like 14 or 15, and then I read them again when I was like about 19. It's like there's so many times where he should have been killed. I mean, so many times. I mean, the time after the Apocalypse War, when he had literally nuked East Meg 1, and what's his name, Bulganin or whoever he is, the guy who is a surviving Soviet general. He's like, "Oh no, I'm going to make you suffer." Or what? No, just kill him. He's right there. He's Judge Dredd. He's gonna. If you have a chance to kill Judge Dredd, kill him. Because he's gonna. Judge Dredd is gonna fuck up anyway. Yeah, but yeah, we're losing folks here chilling, thinking, and you know, I'm sorry that I'm talking to people here on our Discord rather than the YouTube chat. But again, nobody. If what I'm going to do is, you know, I don't think anybody wants to sit here and listen to me just ramble while we wait for this build to end. If what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave this rather than quitting. If anybody has any questions or comments or criticism or anything, put it over here in the Discord, and I'll give you another minute while I dash over into my kitchen so I can cut off a slice of cheese. Tomorrow I'm going to make some real cheese. I got my gallon of milk sitting there, my rennet, my salt. I've got my camembert culture ready to go. But I'll be back in just a minute. If anybody has anything, say it over in our Discord. I'll be right back. Hello? Oh yeah, I was going to check my Oh, the cheese? Uh, pardon me. Ouch. Um, Actually, no, we're not a cheese maker, but can I just say back, if I went back in time and when there was this moment, can I say, after my father passed away, he passed away in 2015, where I got a little bit of his estate and I had this choice. I love cooking. I'm a big fan of Anthony Bourdain and such, and I mean, he was one of the few celebrity deaths I really cared about. But I had this choice: do I spend $2,000 on a new computer, which yeah, back then was pretty decent, all of ago, or do or do I start a food business? And I at that time I was considering a kimchi business actually, because I really like making kimchi. But I couldn't imagine having to do that. I mean, and now that I've been like I was a line cook for several years, I mean, I could imagine doing that. But I mean, if you've ever made kimchi, I can imagine my fingers would eternally smell of, kimchi now, at that point. So I'm sort of glad. And if you don't know how to make cheese, cheese is actually it's very easy to make. Um, I when I first got into it, what happened is Laura, my co-developer here, she was recently diagnosed with lactose intolerance, and she's vegetarian. And I was like, hey, I've heard about this stuff called cashew cheese. Started. I had never made cheese before, but I made it with cashews, and I mean, I was surprised at how easy it was. It just is. And if you don't know, I mean, if you ever thought, oh, Camembert Brie, it's such a fancy cheese. Actually, Camembert is one of the easiest cheeses to make. It's an incredibly virulent um, spore type. Anyway, I really should go off and start dealing with email. No, no. Oh God, it makes kimchi. Oh, somebody's talking about kimchi. Yeah, she absolutely smells like a bag of kimchi. Bag of kimchi. Yeah. Let me just see if I can bring up a picture of the cheese I made. Hold on for a moment. I'll be right back because oh yeah, actually I posted it in the Discord food thing. Let's see. Very proud of my. We also had this guy in here for a while. He was a guy up in Michigan. My goodness, he was a chef. This Yeah, here I'm just gonna copying the image of my beautiful cheese. I just paste it right in there. There we are. Um, yeah, this was the second cashew camembert I ever made. It looks like a cake, doesn't it? It looks like literally like a cheesecake or something. But that is how easy it is. That is actually the camembert mold growing on the outside. And can I just say, it lacks the texture of a real camembert. But I over on the vegan cheese making subreddit, there's this uproar about this new ingredient that can be used to really that gets us one step closer to real vegan, cheese. I'm gonna have to investigate that, but yeah, I mean, this let me put it this way: if you get it, you smear it on a cracker and you serve it alongside olive and a little bit of olive, not even salami because it may be a vegetarian. They would not be able to tell the difference between this and real camembert. They would not. Um, it's and I can I just say I mean, I'm not like one of these vegan or preachers. It's like, oh, it's just like meat. It's just like no. I can I tell you something? As somebody who still eats meat and still eats dairy, this is damn close to real dairy camembert. I was genuinely surprised at how close this gets you. Um, Anyway, if anybody is curious, just go. Maybe I'll put the recipe over in our Discord later. But anyway, I've rambled on far and far and long enough. I really should get to social media and dealing with a few things from family and around the house. I think it's going to be time to feed the kitty cats. Not right, not soon, but soon. Soon, but not soon, but soon enough, as they used to say. Um, oh, somebody's. Yeah, what you do? What did it taste like? I think I've already answered that. Here's if you've ever had camembert, it is the most creamy of creamy cheeses. It's sort of like cream cheese. It's creamy cheese like cream cheese, but because cream cheese does not have as much mold, ripening involved. But camembert is incredibly very smooth cheese. It's this is made out of ground cashews. Um, and I guarantee you probably the people there's this place called Rebel Cheese Making. And their camembert looks much more. They have a cream line. If you don't, here I'm becoming all foodie, but hell, that's what Anthony Bourdain brought me up. There's usually this on camembert a little line of of material between the rind and the center that's especially creamy. Um, in cashew camembert, it is very difficult to get the cream line. The people who are at Rebel Cheese Making have been able to do it. They do vegan cheeses. Can I say the rind? If you've ever eaten camembert, this gives you a really good, just like real camembert. The center, a little bit more. That in the center inside of here, a little bit gritty. You do get a little bit of creaminess, here in the cream line, but not as much as you would with the dairy cheese. But again, there seems to be this rumblings of a new vegan method of making cheese, and I'm gonna have to check into that. But I want to make. I already have my milk and stuff in there, so I'm gonna. But yeah. Geez, what I'm wondering, geez, would it be better if I had become a cheesemaker back then rather than making a video game? I could tell you a hell of a lot less trauma and work. Because let me tell you, if you fail at making a cheese, you will know within 48 hours. But this one, I think, was about 30 days old when I sliced it open. But anyway, if there's any more cheese questions. Yeah, it has that buttery. This has a little bit of the buttery flavor. I tried adding ghee, the clarified butter, to my last wheel. I thought that would add a little bit more of the buttery flavor, but it really didn't. I was surprised at how little effect it had. Um, I'm still keeping that cheese alive because what I'm doing. I mean, literally, if I did say this cheese. Oh, are we done? Huh. No, okay, we're still building. It's like, still building. I bought a $4 wheel of camembert at Trader Joe's. If you don't, if you're in another country, Trader Joe's is like your standard grocery store. But they had, and I literally just I scraped the white mold off of the outside of their camembert and just blended it in with the cashews and the other ingredients. I'll send the recipe on in the Noms channel, and lo and behold, um, and this can only be done with cashews, by the way. This was only discovered recently. It's because cashews, when they're blended, have a chemistry profile that is incredibly similar to milk, cultured milk. But again, I can't say that my camembert had a really good cream line. But can I just say, if you've ever had a hankering for it, I'd still say it's fun to do. Making cheese is actually quite fun, but it's one of those things where literally the high point is twice a day going in there and just flipping the wheel over, That's like, oh boy, I get to see how the other side, how much mold has grown on the other side. That's the high point of making cheese, really. Other than slicing it open at the. But anyway, let's see here. Thank you. Yeah, I keep saying this is the last thing I'm going to say. I heard about cashew cheese on a science fiction television show that aired last year. I think there's going to be a second season. It's called Paradise. I recommend if you can watch it on for free or on a service that you have. I recommend watching it. I try, and it was one of those shows when I first watched it. I had it on as a second screen sort of, thing, and I wasn't paying attention to it. It's like, my God, that's boring. Then I watched it, and it's it's pretty deep. Yeah, it's a heck of a lot. But anyway, guys, gals, and those in between, like I said, it looks like we're within 28 minutes. We're about an hour out. I want to just start preparing for the eventual release of what we have tomorrow. Thanks for those who tuned in. Sorry that I can't see the YouTube chat. Thanks to those people on Discord who chatted with me via there. And hey, I'll see you all tomorrow, just as the first deluge of bug reports and complaints comes in. Take care, everybody. See you later. I'm gonna be up myself for quite a while, but I got it. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.